Okay, so I was updating a page and apparently I deleted more than I wanted to delete. So I have a box around one of there's like 5 lines, and I had boxes around the lines before, and I don't remember how I got that. One is still there, so if you could go to my page, you'll see what I'm talking about. Sorry.
No, you're all good. So where should I go?
Oh, so where it says local voting information under voting elections.
Here.
So um so I don't know how and I don't know that I really need that block, but it
Was
was
it this yellow,
yeah, I
the
don't know how
league
I did.
yellow
Yeah, I don't
that
know
you
how I
had?
did that.
If that's the notice, so it probably is just the matter of applying it to each one. Is that how you had it for each
Well,
league?
I mean, I thought I tried, but I might not have tried notice. I might have tried button. That might have been what I did.
Okay.
So okay, so I
I'm
know
gonna
what,
log in and then masquerade
just
as
make
you
sure
so we
that
could
works.
take a
Okay.
look at it.
Okay, thanks.
Because one thing you can always do too, in case it's something that you already had saved previously, you can always revert back to a previous version.
Now,
Um,
yes, okay.
I'm just
That's
gonna
what I,
open it to view
okay,
it.
revert. Oh,
This is a previous version,
I
but it
wonder
looks
if I
like it's
should,
still.
I wonder if I should revert.
Maybe let me try earlier. This is 10/21, but it's the earliest of that date.
Okay.
Okay, looks like there was
Okay.
a change there.
That's not what I had. Okay.
And then this is even earlier from August 26th. Okay, so this is the
Yeah,
look that you would like,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, so actually all that information is still good. And I can double check it when I get off, but you see
Yeah.
what I was doing was there had been other verbiage underneath that,
Mhm.
and it was outdated, so I deleted it. And then when I went back to do something, I said, "What?"
It was
I
changed
deleted
up.
more than I wanted. Okay, so how do I
Well,
save that one then?
you can revert to this one, or if you want to just apply the changes to the current version you have, and I can do that too. So it is up to you, because the version to revert back to is from August, and it sounds like you would have to make additional updates that you already did.
Oh, that's right. That's true. All right. Well, let's just go with the current one and then just, yeah,
Okay,
the
Can't
note.
you
so now that I
copy,
see
can't
what
you
it was
copy what you have from the back?
from this previous version,
Yeah, and
I
then
think
put
so.
in the current version.
Yeah, that is a good idea. When you're copying from a MyLO page to paste into a MyLO WYSIWYG, it usually should save the formatting. So let's see if it does. So I just want to copy. Okay, yeah, there are changes here to these links. Well, why don't we just try this? Because I don't want to
Yeah, let's
plaster the
not,
previous.
yeah, yeah, let's go with the current. Yeah. And just add the notice. Okay.
So
So just notice.
highlight the whole
Yeah.
thing, the
Yeah.
whole
Okay.
phrase, and just notice, and it will
Okay.
keep those separate.
Okay. I can do that. Thank you.
I'll go ahead and save it for you now, though.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Would you like me to go ahead and publish that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, so that was to show a lot of different ways you could fix it. Being able to revert to a previous version, or even just copying a certain section and you keep that formatting. But since it was a simple addition, it was
Yeah.
easier to keep that current version.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Do
no
you want
problem.
it centered, though? You have three of them.
Well,
Oh, now it's centered. Okay.
before I had them off because they're not really local. And actually, but I guess I did try to, well, actually, I think I did try to uh, get the Wayne County clerk, and I put left whatever the word is, and it wouldn't move. So I thought, okay, I'll just leave it.
If that ever happens, try the eraser when you have it all highlighted. It might remove that center like designation or style. If you're trying to make something left justified or right justified and it's, or vice versa, and it's sticking in one place, you can always try the eraser icon in case.
Okay, I'll fool with it. At the least, I'll get rid of those three icons, so it'll just be all together.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. And then we can jump back around to you. I'll go ahead with Nancy's question.
Okay, I had sent a question to Amaris, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because it might be kind of techy or esoteric, but I had sent her a question because we have a board member who's blind, and she said that when I redid our menu just a bit, she was getting two different pages for, like, for instance, on Dearborn Heights that we're looking at right now, it would be voting/elections, our equivalent of that. She got two different sets of that on her screen reader somehow. And that was important to her because we had put voting with disabilities page under that, and she wanted to refer a lot of people to that page. Well, the people in the blind community told her that the problem was we needed different tags on the page. And I said, well, that sounds great. I didn't put any tags on the page, so I don't really know how to fix that. And I don't know if you had any success in looking into that, Maurice, or not. If that's too technical, we'll just go on. But I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the question. It is something I haven't gotten back yet information on from our tech team. But
Okay.
it is something that is automatically done by the system. Yeah, without the information from them, it's more speculation from me to say what
Sure.
it might be or what might have caused like the dual tag. But if it's any relation to the meta tags that we do have control of, then that would be something that we can manipulate as far as the meta tags. But again, it's not confirmed that this is related to the tags for low and no vision folks using screen readers.
Sure.
We have tags.
Well, I
here.
sort of figured that was the case. And so don't spend time with, waste other people's time on that. But it'll be interesting because folks, we've been having a really interesting time since she's been on our board, trying to revise things and work on accessible PDFs and all kinds of things that we hadn't thought of
Improvements.
before. So,
Yeah.
and she's pointed out to us that the disabled community is very, very low in voter participation. So it's become a bit more of a priority for us.
Definitely. No, yeah, I will get that information back, and I might share that in the Google group in case other folks are interested in just how that process works for the tags.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
And
I myself,
Maurice, I think that'd be a great topic, just basically, how to make your page more accessible for people.
yeah,
Definitely. You should, it's good you're bringing this up.
yeah, and it could always be a session where other folks bring their ideas, like Nancy has suggested too, like accessible PDFs. Yeah, collaborating in that way would be really helpful to bring our minds together and what can make our site more accessible.
And like when we're doing pictures in the media library, adding those, I think one of those lines you told us about, it's
Yeah.
because of somebody was reading it with a machine or whatever.
Right. The
Yeah.
alt text is a requirement on all images. So there's definitely some functionality built in that helps with that type of accessibility. But yeah, there's definitely other things that webmasters can do outside of that, because we're not just putting our content straight into the page, just text only. We're usually providing more than that, just images and PDFs and documents, all other kinds of things that we just also need to make sure are accessible as well.
Well, and I think it's important for people to be educated why it's important. You know, because when I put in a tag I don't put too much thought into it.
No.
And, you know, now I will.
Right.
So thank
Yeah.
you, Nancy.
Yeah.
But
It
I
is
just
very
think it's a question of educating us.
Yes.
That
yes,
picture that
for
was
sure.
just on there for Hispanic month. I know it's over, but it was such a nice picture from National that I think I will take it down. Isn't that a nice
Oh,
picture?
nice.
And it's beautiful. I didn't have to do anything.
I
I
love
mean,
when that
actually,
happens.
that's not from National. I don't know where I got it, but isn't it beautiful? Sorry, I
Awesome.
know I
Okay.
interrupted.
No, you're good. I was just taking down that accessibility as a topic. Okay. Yeah. All right. Mary Jo, did you have a question, or did anybody else?
Oh, well, I want to
jump
make
in?
sure nobody else does. So, well, this one, you can probably just answer. So I know you've told us this before, but so say if we've got, you know, we're doing a slideshow and we have two that we want to be, you know, up front.
Mhm.
And so I was doing that once, and I thought that the one that I put in like today and said, you know, be the first one would be the first one, but it wasn't,
Okay.
unless I'm remembering incorrectly.
It depends on if the first one is sticky or not. Because remember you had me do one
Yeah.
and I made it sticky. So it'd be
I don't know what you mean
first.
by sticky. I mean, I know it's, oh, well, that's what I did. But I had two.
You made it sticky.
Well, two were
Okay.
sticky, but I thought the one that I worked on, the most recent, would be the first one you'd see.
That is correct. That is how
That
it
is the
should
way
be.
it should be. Okay.
Yes. It makes me wonder if the one that you were expecting to get trumped and did not, did that one that did not, or the one that did stay at the top, did it have a creation date that was set into the future, possibly? Because that is, the system allows for that. So if
Oh.
we wanted to,
Oh, that's, you mean like if, say you were doing, you know, November, you know, health month or something, and you know, you just want to get it done and all you had to do would, oh.
not about scheduling, no. It's about saying that once it's created, you could say that the creation date was in the future. So
Yeah.
that if you made any other slideshow items sticky, then that one that you set for creation date November 5th, let's say you just set it for election day, it won't get trumped until after election day if you make another one sticky. If that makes sense.
Oh.
So it would maintain the top spot as long as it stayed sticky, because we haven't reached that creation date. And then not until November 5th, after that hour, you create a new slideshow item and make that one sticky, then it would take the top spot at that point. But I don't know if that would be your specific case
Well,
with your slideshow
what
items.
did you do, Jennifer? What was I not being able to do? Do you remember?
You couldn't get it to go at all first.
No, it had something to do with I wanted to keep one in
Yeah,
front.
but the one you wanted to keep first, you couldn't do that. So I
Yes.
probably changed the date on it. And then made them both sticky.
Let's
So
see.
maybe, oh, I don't, yeah, no.
And I might be able to see it like quickly here because we have the created date listed. So if I
Mhm.
look up just slideshow items. Yeah, I'm
So
not
it was
sure.
after,
Well, it's
it
an
was
old
after
vote,
our
it's an
last
old vote
meeting.
411, so we probably had it up a long time ago.
Well, wasn't it at the last meeting that I said I'd do that?
No,
So
you
this-
didn't.
Can I
It's,
order?
I know,
it's,
but-
it's
yeah,
what
but-
comes
but-
first.
Right, but
Okay, yeah, no, I'm
whatever
not
our
sure.
whatever our last meeting was here, well, let me look at the calendar. Because it was like 3 weeks ago. Isn't that where we discussed it? And I said, oh, I can do that.
3 weeks ago, that aligns with what the National Voter Education Week, or technically that's 2 weeks ago.
Could be.
Well, the one that's up now is vote 411 with a link. And that's probably one that we had a long time ago. But we want to make sure,
But
I
if,
don't know.
if
Yeah,
we
I'm not sure.
changed it,
well, you did, no, it's what we want, because we want people to see that 411 as soon as they come on the website. So I've had people say, where's that one 411? So it's the first one you see.
Go
Slideshow.
back to your homepage.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
No,
it's a little hard to tell without seeing like what the order was right then and there.
Have we asked for the feature of being able to do this like we do the menu, you know, the events?
Yes, I have that on the list, but it is unfortunately a heavy one, so it has
Yeah.
not been able to climb just yet, but I have it on the list for sure.
It almost seems like adding the sticky feature gets you in trouble. Maybe you're better off just using the creation date and fixing it that way. 'Cause-
Well, it depends. Yeah, the more you have sticky, yes, it can be a little more to juggle, for sure. But if you clear out with the managed content here, it would make it easy if you wanted to like unstick whatever current ones you have sticky and then readjust with your new, you could. But yeah,
Unstick. Oh,
definitely creation date is a really heavy helper when it comes to reorganizing these, because the creation date is the ultimate way to say what order they should display in.
thank you. Well, I have another general question.
Yeah, go for it.
So, our situation is a little different in that nobody's taking care of Twitter, what used to be called Twitter.
Mhm.
But I would think a lot of us maybe still have Twitter on their website instead of X. Is that what they call it?
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
is that something that other people have done already and they found a nice thing in the media library? I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out.
No, you
Care less
you
about
brought up a
Twitter, but-
good point. Yeah, thank you for that. But go ahead. I heard somebody else was gonna
I
respond.
just said I changed mine.
Did you?
Yeah, but
So
we
there-
don't use it. I think we should just get rid of it.
We don't, yeah, nobody wants to make a decision on it, I guess. Well, okay, I'm gonna bring that up again.
When we had our state meeting,
Yeah.
they gave us an award because we had so many people, you know, using our social media. And X was one of them because people aren't using it, I guess. So we won. We didn't even realize we were doing so well, but it was nice to know.
Well,
Maybe it's
is
worth
there-
holding on to.
maybe there's a way, because I know that with the other one, this the picture thing. I
Instagram?
think yeah, Instagram. I think you can sign up, and maybe things in Twitter were coming automatically from national, so that once in a while there would be stuff on it. I don't know.
Oh,
As far as automatic feeds, I don't think that that's an option.
Okay.
But you can repost like on
Yeah,
other
somebody has to do it.
platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as the image, it sounds like there may already be some images with X instead of Twitter. So if you were wanting to switch out this image, you might have already some logos in the media library.
Yeah.
But then you made me also remember that we have that
Oh.
in the footer, and this is from the system, from the MyLO system. So I
Oh.
will, it should be a quick and easy fix as long as we can find a good logo file. But we can update, I think it's about time to do that.
So are you saying that you're gonna do that, Maurice?
Yes, I'll make sure that our team takes care of
Thank you. The
updating
one,
this
this
footer
one
logo.
on the bottom, okay.
Yeah, so if anybody else is still using that logo in their sidebar, then that's for you to take care of. But
Okay.
folks will still, you know, obviously understand what they're leading to.
Of course.
Some people may have a philosophical reason for not.
Yes,
Twitter.
yes, yes.
Especially when he's giving out $1
Oh,
million a day, something that seems totally illegal.
Mary Jo, do you want me to do a search for X, formerly known as Twitter?
what do you think? Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Hey, I am despairing right now, so just, tread carefully.
So my last question is just another, so I do a lot of like, especially you might have noticed during the season, we have a group that sends out weekly social media pictures and verbiage and all that.
Mhm.
So I want to get it in front of people, so I make it an article.
Hmm.
And then, but it, the one that, so it looks like news. And I just wondered, is
Mhm.
there another, something else that I could use that wouldn't sound so off-putting? Because it's not really news, but it is,
You
an
want to
art-
get it out there.
I just bring that up.
I mean, you could always embed the feed if you wanted it to just be directly from social media and folks are consuming it as social media, but it's on your web page.
No, I'm editing it.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
don't know if folks have any other suggestions.
just another word. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I see. Maybe
Yeah.
like
Hot off the
blog
presses.
or
I don't know.
was that?
I don't know. Just something to think about.
Yeah.
Hot off the presses, latest release.
But I mean, to me, that's the same as news. It is an article. I mean, it's information I want to share.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just something
Yeah, maybe
that I thought of.
some terms for us to throw at you, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, updates or something.
news we want people to know. News for you. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm finished.
It'll have to be a bit of wordplay for you there to figure out what might be the best. Okay, does anybody have any other questions? I can also check out what we've seen lately in the Google group.
Hmm.
So the link to content tool is still unresolved at the moment, but the team is working towards hopefully what might be at least an attempt, because it isn't, I think, confirmed yet what the cause is. So the good news is that the attempt may involve the improvement of that issue and the caption issue that we saw a couple of sessions ago. I think it was Sandy who brought it up, and similar situation to the insert edit links, where you highlight the text and then as soon as you click the tool, your highlighted selection just disappears. The caption tool was operating or is operating the same. You select an image where you want to add a caption, and the caption tool, you click the caption tool and then your selection falls off. So those may be worked on in tandem, but no word yet. But those two issues are happening right now. And actually, I will respond to the latest. I didn't see that there was a response on that insert edit link ticket, and I will share about the caption tool, because I don't think I talked about it in the Google group, but we did talk about it either last month or a couple months ago. Any questions about those two issues? And I can show them because I see your puzzled look, Mary Jo.
Well, I know that I looked when I was doing something, and I may have even used one once because I don't remember. Yeah, but go on. Yeah.
I can show it, yeah. I'll use your homepage, but I won't save anything. Just so that I can play around with the WYSIWYG. So the insert edit link tool, we highlight some text, and when we select insert edit link, and sorry, let me zoom in a little bit. So when I click insert edit link, we see that democracy is no longer highlighted. What would usually happen is it would go from blue to gray. So again, I won't actually save anything, but I need to drop an image in. All right, so we have an image. When I have this image selected, this tool becomes available, add a caption to an image. And when I select it, again, my image sort of turned gray, but it's now just its typical color. So the highlight, the selection just falls off. With both tools though, if that happens, it's not that they're not able to be used. It's just that you have to go back and click or select your image or text again. And then let me pull my toolbar over here. Once you have it selected, go back to that, where am I? Go back to that little window and open that up again. So same thing for insert edit link. If you highlight a word, words, image, whatever you're trying to link, and that selection falls off, then just click away from this little window, select whatever that is again, and then open this little window again.
Oh, because I was just using that other one you showed us, the one that's
Oh
single.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But
another option
that's
too,
still-
because
yeah, I wasn't even trying the other one.
okay, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
there's
okay.
multiple
All right.
ways to do it. So that's the good thing is that
Okay.
it's not unavailable. It's just an inconvenience at the moment.
Okay, so what you're saying is still working, but you gotta, like you just described how to, okay.
Yeah, got to do a little bit extra.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, or again, I can hop into email.
Well, are some of these problems a result of the infrastructure you're using for MyLO? I've forgotten what it's called. It's a famous, I mean, it's well
It
known.
is Drupal.
Yeah, Drupal. Can they make changes that screws up what we do because it's really dependent on that?
Not really. I mean, there would be updates that we would want to align with that if we didn't align with, and you know, could leave us in the lurch, but there isn't anything that someone outside of MyLO could do to like take over to make changes to make things not work. So I think in this case, it might just be the current module version that we're using. So it's not to the whole MyLO system, but just the specific tool where these are installed. So
Are they tools though as part of Drupal or separate from Drupal?
no, I believe they are part of Drupal. They might have some customization that we do for MyLO users, but they should be all Drupal-based modules. Any other questions? Let me pull up email and see if I have some more here.
You should feel good. I mean, when we first started meeting, there were a lot of people. Now it's like everyone knows what to do and they feel more comfortable.
I
Or
hope
maybe
so.
maybe they're so busy doing them because of the election that they're just trying to get the work done.
Maybe, yeah, I think I think we probably all can sympathize with that second one. Yeah, that might be the case.
I was being Pollyanna.
You guys are sure well represented here, you Dearborn people.
Well, this is the only chance I get to see Mary Jo. Because I moved away from Dearborn.
Yeah, Jennifer lives in Massachusetts.
Oh, helping them or something?
Pardon me?
Were you helping people in Massachusetts or you were just living out there for a while?
Well, I was living, I'd moved to Dearborn and got hooked with these wild and crazy ladies. And then my job ended and one of my kids lives in Massachusetts, so I went to live down the street from him, East Thurl. And
Oh, but you still keep with the Dearborn people.
mhm.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's nice. Well,
Yeah,
but
I'm
you,
on the board and everything.
but you have a lot going on there with all the Palestinians, right?
Dearborn, yes.
They want to
It-
punish the, okay, I'm not gonna get into it, but yes.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
challenge.
Okay.
it's a very diverse community. I love Church Row. There's a mosque, there's a synagogue, there's a Catholic church. What's the other one? Right there in the
I don't
Temple?
know, maybe a Romanian one, I don't know.
Buddhist temple. All
Really?
in the same.
That's wonderful.
She knows more than I
Oh,
do.
it is. What?
You know more than I do.
Well, I lived sort of near there, and it's just like I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. It was cool.
Great.
So was there something else in
Oh.
the email you were gonna look at, Amaris?
Yeah.
Was that
I did find some things, and this might be something that we've probably talked about a million times.
Oh.
But it was a question about members only.
Oh, good.
Someone was traveling another league's MyLO site, and they were alarmed to be able to see members only in the menu. And the fact that they were able to click through and then see
Oh,
the top of the page, they were like, is this, how things should work?
oh,
So I wanted to review that with you guys. The short answer is yes, that is how that works. I right now am still masquerading as Mary Jo, so technically I belong to the Dearborn Heights League. So what I'm gonna do, let's see, do I have members only on this page? Let me try this demo site. Okay, so when it comes to being logged in at all, actually, I should show you what this looks like when you're not logged in. So when I'm logged into a MyLO account, regardless of if I have any membership to this particular group or not, I'm going to see members only in the menu. But if I can visit this without being logged in, then members only in the menu just disappears for me. And that's
Oh.
just because I'm not an authenticated user. I'm not logged in. I'm not recognized. So back here, being logged in, I am able to see it. I'm able to click through it. But I'm the only thing I'm technically able to see, although I obviously see more than just what I'm highlighting. If I made changes to what is here, this is an aggregated list, blah, blah, blah. If I would have changed that text to be whatever I want it to be, it could be a link to my member roster with all their contact information. It could be a disclaimer about you need to belong to this league. That, regardless of what you put in there, is going to be visible to whoever I am logged in. And I could just be a general public member that decided I want to create a MyLO account. So this is where you do not want to put sensitive information. Once I'm logged in as a MyLO user, but again, let's say I don't belong to this group in MyLO, I'm not able to see what's here, regardless of if there are actual upcoming members only events and members only content. Because I don't belong to the demo local group, I'm not shown this information. So it doesn't show up as empty. It just shows, well, technically empty, yes. But this is that default information that shows up when there's nothing to be shown. I'm not sure if I have any content here, but let me try.
There's X.
I'm going to switch back. Okay, yeah, so I did have an actual article. I'm an admin right now, so I just get to see what any group member would see. But this is what I would see if I were logged in as a particular member, a user member of the demo local group. So it only gets revealed to you the upcoming events and the content once you are not only logged in, but then belong to that group. That's always my disclaimer. On your members only page, never anything sensitive there.
Okay, I'm totally lost now because are you saying that any of the, like Helen could, you know, go on my page and see members only,
Yes,
and so she'd click it and then she'd be able to see our list of rosters?
she would
Or
only be
roster of
able to
members?
she would only be able to see what's up here. So if you have your member roster up in the header, then
So
yes.
literally only, okay,
Yeah.
members only page. Oh, so just that page. And no links.
Yeah, so
Under-
if there's anything under events and
Yeah.
anything under the members only content, she would not be able to see that because she doesn't belong to the Dearborn Heights
So
group.
she's literally only seeing this. Okay, so that's
Down there.
nothing. Okay,
Yeah, and I can show you too going to your page. So let me masquerade as a
Yeah,
different
thank you.
user. Yeah. All right. So now let's go over to Dearborn Heights. All right. So again, because I'm a MyLO user, I do
Mhm.
see members only in the menu.
Uh-huh.
But once I click over to it, it looks like you just have an empty header. That's all I get to see. And then this and this, even though I'm assuming you do have content there, I just get to see the default empty message. So
Okay, because we definitely have stuff there.
yeah, because I don't belong to your group. But if I
Okay.
switch back,
And that is exactly what I saw.
Okay.
yeah. And
Okay.
I'll just flash it. Yeah, so we see obviously there's some content now that I'm logged in as an admin only.
Thank you.
So it looks like.
Oh, wait a minute. What, oh, you're masquerading.
I'm no longer I'm masquerading. I'm logged in as an admin, so that's why I'm able to see it.
As an admin,
Mhm.
but Helen would not be able to see that.
Right. Helen
Okay.
saw what
Okay.
we just saw a second
Okay.
ago.
Right, okay.
And it looks like we already took out this is an aggregate, whatever.
Right. Yes. You have
Took out what?
put in your own custom message. Let me actually show you on the demo site this time. So we were talking about this sentence here. That's like the default sentence that appears when you don't have anything in the header. But
Uh-huh.
if you do customize your header with Edit Your Links headers, then we go down to members only page, and you can put spaces, which will leave it empty, or we can put whatever you want to put, and it's able to be formatted. And these changes to the headers get published right away. So you can make changes to all of them at once or more than one. You get it for the positions page, the calendar page, the articles page, the action alerts, and the members only. So we save. And then that's what that looks like on that page with the header too. Any questions about this page? I guess one other thing that I didn't test out, let me see. When it comes to the menu, we saw that if you don't belong to a certain group, then you don't get to see the members only in the menu. But when you do belong, or when you do have a MyLO user account, I didn't test whether or not the pages under that members only menu link would be accessible. So I wanted to test that one here. So I have test page listed under members only. So I am able to reach that. That's just if you are relying on the members only menu link to keep the content in that submenu private. Just make sure that you have any pages that are underneath it set to private as well.
That makes sense.
So right now,
Well, the only thing I think that no, so what I add consistently is an event and it won't show up unless you put private, but for the other things, you know, like the pages, I mean, I assume they're private. I mean,
do you use the menu? Oh, you do. So these things, do you have them private?
Yes.
Okay. So if each individual
okay, because you're saying
content
they wouldn't
item,
show, okay, so how would I, just for the heck of it,
how would you know? Or
just for the heck of it, click one of them. I mean, I don't know.
so I'm masquerading as you.
Yeah.
It would get
Oh.
me through all of them right
Okay.
now.
But they wouldn't even be able to they wouldn't even see members only unless they were. Oh, well,
There's a place when you're editing or adding documents, so you say, this is members
see, I don't,
Right.
only, this is
Is there-
private.
I'll go ahead and show you on this, the bylaws page that you have
Okay.
here. Okay, so it is marked private, yes. So
okay, so
that's,
if we set it up, then we must have done it.
yeah, that's what I
I
would
don't know.
recommend.
Yeah, that submenu doesn't even show up. That submenu doesn't even show up.
Okay, great. Because the pages are set to private, they won't show up.
Right.
Yeah, that is,
But I don't remember, you know, when I was setting some of them up, I don't remember the idea about the private or not, but
I have made sure,
you
when
went
I
through
do-
all of them?
yeah, well, when I'm the one adding, I always figured you're perfect in every way, so.
No.
the deep eye roll from Mary Jo.
Yeah, okay, I'll look at it.
I
don't
do
know.
crack myself up.
But yeah, that is what you definitely want to do when you have a members only link in the menu and you have a sub menu underneath it. All those sub menu items, just like we see here, should be marked private. Because this, again, I'm still masquerading as Mary Jo right now, and I'm on the demo local page. I get to see members only, but you know, the content is hidden to me. But because this test page is not set to private, I'm able to see it. So it might not be the worst thing, but again, depending on what content or, you know, stuff you have on this page, you might have wanted to keep it private, and putting it under the private menu does not do enough to keep it private.
Is there an easy way to go to manage content and identify files that you think are members only and see if they're private or not?
I'm not sure. Let's check that out if that's an option. I think change value is the way to go there. I won't actually save any change, but I want to see if change value would be the way. So you choose change value after checking off boxes and then click execute. See if that gives us the option
What if you do it in your search?
in your search.
You know, at the top, you get all the files you want to be working on.
Oh yeah, you could narrow it down to public or private, but you can't make changes through the search.
Mm.
Let's see. Okay, so there is a way to do it. The way that this change values page is broken up, the properties, I think, actually, I think this can be skipped because you'll be dealing with the specific content types here. So depending on what you selected, and I think I only selected slideshow items previously, but you can go through each one. You have action alert. The list is obviously a little bit bigger than what we have. Announcement you can skip, articles, the committee, events. So everything that we have as content types will be here, and you can make changes all at once. The only thing is you have to check the box for each different type. So if you were trying to make them all public or make them all private all at once, it does require going through each content type.
But in the search, can you search for only members only at all? You're in the
Yeah, you
upper-
can.
yeah,
But that, I mean, you still have to go through change value.
right. Well, if you want to, but yeah,
If you're just trying to pull up the list to see what you have as private, yes, or public, then this would be the way to narrow that down.
Can you scroll a little bit for me to see?
Yeah, a little further down.
I just, it looks, Mary Jo, it looks like we're doing good job here.
Got content rolling often.
Yep. Yeah, but it looks like most
Oh.
of them.
A lot of what you needed to be private is private.
Mm-hmm. So that's good.
that's good.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm Pollyanna.
So
Well, you
if
can
I,
still
if I
do-
wanted to do the old fashioned way, I guess I'd say.
Mhm.
So if I went to menu and then looked under member only,
Mhm.
and then that's where I would see how I had set it up, right?
Set it up as far as like if you marked it private or not,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
I would suggest this way. What you could also do if you wanted to double check your menu items, you would want to go through them one by one
right.
otherwise. So
Yeah.
if you went through them one by one, I'll just open this one
So
again.
bring one up, yeah.
So I open up bylaws.
And then new draft, then go to new draft.
Yeah, we would do
Okay,
new
all right.
draft. And it's almost to the bottom of the page where it'll say public or members only or something like that.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
here we go. Public or members only.
Okay, well, that's
And
fine.
in case anyone's curious, the group defaults is always public.
Ah,
Any questions about members only? I'm trying to see what else we have here.
Have we heard anything more about Stripe?
Not yet. So I pumped the brakes personally because I think I had heard from someone in one of these sessions, and then I saw it somewhere. I probably should have taken note that said that any Stripe accounts that were previously set up may need to be may not work for
Yes.
what National is doing. So I realize I'm probably doing more damage than anything helpful if I'm helping people set up and then they have to just go through the process again. So I just, yeah, I pumped the brakes on that. And I am still in the wings to hear from National about how I can jump in. There, I don't know if you guys saw, there will be some webinars, I believe, coming up about
Yes.
just talking about some of the functionality and how the processes will work. So I will be joining the one for web administrators. Mm-hmm.
Good.
So I'll see what information I can pick up, and I'll come with any questions I can. Yeah, because they know that we're dealing with a good number of leagues. So if I can do anything I can to help it go smoother, I will. So
And
Yeah,
I
I was,
don't know if you've actually listened to any of those, but they do once in a while mention how they are working. They will be working with MyLO or are working with MyLO on the stripe thing or something.
okay, great.
yeah. Yeah, I heard that the last meeting too about, and you could just tell there was this big intake of breath.
About folks having to set up a new Stripe account if they already had one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and I think some of the ones were feeling because they've used it instead of like PayPal or something. They've been using it and they thought they were all set.
right. Yeah.
And then there are the people who are upset because they have to give their social security number. And it's like, your treasurer does this all over town, wherever you've got a bank account.
Right. Yeah, yeah, it is not anything new, unfortunately.
Yes. And it's like, yeah, somebody's got to do it.
I was just gonna mention that, they're kind of pushing, and what is it called? ACH, when you use your bank
Oh.
account.
Uh-huh.
So today I was paying a bill to my health insurance, and maybe it's been there all this time and I never noticed it, but it shows you different ways of paying. And one of the things was bank account. It seems like I would have remembered that. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll see, and it worked fine. So I just thought that was kind of interesting that maybe more and more companies will be using that. I don't know.
Oh, and it was through Stripe
No,
or
it was,
Well,
I could have used my credit card. I could have used something else. And then the third one was your bank account.
and your bank account has fewer fees. So
right.
National is kind of saying, hey,
Well, I don't care about that. My thing would be if it's a more secure, and I don't know if it's more secure, but maybe it is. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting that here's another group that I use that's using that.
yeah, but I mean, for the league, it's important because the more it costs us in
Sure.
fees
I
as
get
an
it.
individual league.
Sure.
So that's why.
Yeah. It's
I
easy
have
to
a-
do.
I have a question that it just is league policy and how you interpret it. We got all these signs that said, vote like democracy depends on it, and in parens, it does. And when we were finding out who wanted one, they were suggesting that if you have partisan signs on your lawn, maybe you don't want this sign next to it because it looks like you're partisan. Well, I mean, you're obviously partisan, but it looks like the league is partisan. And some people argue we're all about democracy. This is very important. This is what we do. And then there are other people who are being very cautious. So has this kind of issue come up in your leagues? About signage? We don't let our president or treasurer, or there are a couple offices that they can't put partisan signs, but the rest of us can. But they're worried about this sign being
Misinterpreted.
accompanied by partisan signs. This isn't an issue for any of you, I guess.
It sounds like not. I've heard about the sign and had folks call to inquire about it,
Oh,
but I've not heard feedback of its use. It's an interesting one.
Well, there is a funny thing with signs. People have their signs stolen, and somebody put one of those Apple tags on her signs, and then she went to find her sign, and this person had like 51 signs in their car.
oh my God.
Wow. There are some people that definitely have too much time on their hands.
Wow.
Well, there's a lot of it going on in our town because my friend, it's happened twice, and she reported it to the police, and the police said there's a lot in our town, people
Wow.
stealing signs.
Oh my God.
That happens here too. Mary Jo, I'm looking at your slideshow and you have all these great graphics. Where do you get them and can I steal yours?
Great
Well,
question.
they should be in the media. Well, I don't know if they'd be in the media library or not. Uh, well, a lot of them are, anyone's, well, most of them are from the league. So I go on their Facebook. There tend to be more, pictures on Facebook. Because
Okay.
Jennifer can tell you, I do not know how to condense them. So if I find one that I really like, but it won't fit the 800 by 400, Jennifer takes care of that for us. But like that was just online somewhere, and that was beautiful.
And
Well,
just
you really do have a very nice website, and your slideshow is really nice.
well curated.
And that was one of the local ones. And luckily, it fit. We have a group called Promote the Vote, which I think is actually national, but Promote the Vote Michigan.
Oh, here goes the yard sign design that we were just talking about, right?
Yep.
Like
Oh,
the
yeah,
hands
but
on
and then it says it does,
right
because
down.
it gets kind of covered up,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
and you have it.
I
But you
didn't
don't
realize.
have it, but you don't have it with any partisan
Right.
sign. That's yours is fine.
And I wanted to say too, Helen, in case you pop over to the Dearborn Heights site, you can hover over and right click to open
yeah,
image in new tab.
That's why
Okay.
I was asking her if I could steal them.
Awesome. Yeah, because
What was that option? What did it say?
if you right click and then open image in new tab,
Oh, right. Of course. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
then that's an easy way to sometimes find the file name.
Yeah. Yeah.
But can't you also go to check out our media library?
Yeah, you can check out the media library. It's a little harder to find the content you want. Whoops, sorry, I keep jumping around. I'm just gonna again use your site as a demo, but not save any changes. But let's say you are here and want to drop in an image. So we open the media browser and we search all files. I'm not able to narrow down by any user. I can narrow down by file name, but I'd need to know the exact file name to find it. The other
Okay.
way that you can do it, if you do know the user's name, then we could go to manage files. Although this isn't a way for you to be able to use them. Let's see, view all files. And then in the search here, there's a way to provide a username. So we can narrow it down to just Mary Jo's files. And these are just the files that she has allowed to be shared in the media library. So in this way, you could then find, okay, these are the ones I want to look at. And I'm zoomed in quite a bit here.
So I see one that shouldn't be in there because it's our local one. So that was a mistake for our representative.
The one thing about taking hers, I noticed some of them there, she's covering up some content with the strip across the bottom.
Oh, in the slideshow.
Yeah. It's not that serious, but you prefer not to lose some of
Well,
the.
of course not. Yeah. I mean, we all complained about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that is another one that is on the list as well and might might not be as big of a heavy lift as the slideshow reordering, but it just has.
So you can see, that was a good example because you can see how I repeated.
I feel like you do a really good job of that. If
Well,
it does get
somehow yeah.
when it gets obscured by the white bar, I feel like you do a good job of repeating what's being blocked. I think it looks
If it
like you
makes
probably
sense,
have
yeah.
this leading.
So
Yeah.
if you go to the yard sign one, she repeated the it is part that was covered up.
Ah, okay.
That
So
was pretty
Okay,
right
yeah.
there.
Well, that's what
That's-
she said. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that one you can't change the focus on, otherwise you lose part of the states. You lose Maine.
Well, you have to have some graphic experience to really make it so that you don't cover that. You know that you want maybe
manipulate the
100
image.
pixels at the bottom that are clear.
Well, and I'm not gonna do that. But
But
one thing that is nice though is on a couple of those, I have a link, like our very first page, I have a link to, or slide, I have a link to our website that lists all our different kinds of, voter guides and all that kind of stuff. So I think that links thing is really nice.
Yeah.